Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. We deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. Such a beautiful garden. That garden is you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I invite you to join me in an invocation. So if it feels comfortable, close your eyes and sit back into your chair and just take in a deep breath and just let it go. Just absolutely knowing that the divine beloved is in, through, and around each and every one of us. It is in the air that we breathe. It is in the chairs that we sit on. It is everywhere, in everything, in everybody. And as we move into the service, we absolutely know that this service is so truly blessed, that Reverend Elzia's talk is important and gets to whoever needs to receive it and take it into their lives. That the music from Amy Steinberg is just, it impacts whoever listens to it, knowing that it is exactly what they need, which is in fact the name of the song. And just knowing that my words help raise everybody in their consciousness, and just knowing that we are also truly blessed by Center for Spiritual Living Denver, by the community that we choose to be with and in, and knowing that as we take this out into our lives, it works for the good of us and for all. And from that place of deep, deep gratitude, I release this into that one mind, that one heart, knowing that all is well, and so it is. Amen. So I got this from the internet. When Einstein gave lectures at U.S. universities, the question students asked him most was, "Do you believe in God?" And he always answered, "I believe in the God of Spinoza." Baruch de Spinoza was a Dutch philosopher considered one of the great rationalists of 17th century philosophy, along with Descartes. According to Spinoza, God would say, "Stop praying. I want you to go out into the world and enjoy your life. I want you to sing, have fun, and enjoy everything I've made for you." According to, stop going into those dark, cold temples that you built yourself and saying they are my house. My house is in the mountains, in the woods, rivers, lakes, beaches. That's where I live, and there I express my love for you. Stop blaming me for your miserable life. I never told you there was anything wrong with you and that you were a sinner or that your sexuality was a bad thing. Sex is a gift I have given you, and with which you can express your love, your ecstasy, your joy. So don't blame me for everything that others make you believe. Stop reading alleged sacred scriptures that have nothing to do with me. If you can't read me in a sunrise, in a landscape, in the look of your friends, in your son's eyes, you will find me in no book. Stop asking me, will you tell me how to do my job? Stop being so scared of me. I do not judge or criticize you, nor get angry or bothered. I am pure love. Stop asking for forgiveness. There's nothing to forgive. If I made you, I filled you with passions, limitations, pleasures, feelings, needs, inconsistencies, and best of all, free will. Why would I blame you if you respond to something I put in you? How could I punish you for being the way you are if I'm the one who made you? Do you think I could create a place to burn all my children who behave badly for the rest of eternity? What kind of God would do that? Respect your peers and don't give what you don't want for yourself. All I ask is that you pay attention in your life. Alertness is your guide. My beloved, this life is not a test, not a step on the way, not a rehearsal, not a prelude to paradise. This life is the only thing here and now, and it is all you need. I have set you absolutely free. No prizes or punishments, no sins or virtues. No one carries a marker. No one keeps a record. You are absolutely free to create in your life, It's you who creates heaven or hell. Live as if there is nothing beyond this life, as if this is your only chance to enjoy, to love, to exist. Then you will have enjoyed the opportunity I gave you. And if there is an afterlife, rest assured that I won't ask if you behaved right or wrong. I'll ask, did you like it? Did you have fun? What did you enjoy the most? And what did you learn? Stop believing in me. Believing is assuming, guessing, imagining. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to believe in you. I want you to feel me in you when you kiss your beloved, when you tuck in your little girl or boy, when you caress your dog or cat, when you bathe in the sea. Stop praising me. What kind of an egomaniac God do you think I am? I'm bored with being praised. I'm tired of being thanked. Feeling grateful? Prove it by taking care of yourself, your health, your relationships, the world. Express your joy. That's the way to praise me. Stop complicating things and repeating as a parrot what you've been taught about me. Why do you need more miracles? Why do you need more explanations? The only thing for sure is that you are here, that you are alive, that this world is full of wonders. And that is grace. And from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, life is not only where we are, it is what we are. It is in us as well as around us, and its whole impulsion is love. The universe does rest on the shoulders of love. Love is the real lodestone of life. And now from Amy Steinberg, exactly.
Good morning, Denver. I'm Amy Steinberg. So happy to be with you. I thought I'd do a song of mine that would match this theme of everyday living in grace. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am. I am a blessing manifest, and I can't undress the moment. Naked time unwinds beneath my mind, and from within I find the kind of beauty only I can find. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am, surrendering so willingly to be the perfect me inside this now, and truly how else could it be? Destiny, she blesses me. Destiny, she blesses me. And when I try to fight or run, I only wind up back at square one. And when I think I know what's best for me, well, fate, she takes me back to exactly where I need to be. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am, divinely timed and shining brightly. Yes, I believe that there's a purpose just for me, as I believe that we are light and we shine infinitely. Whoa, I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am. I am not aimlessly existing. See, I am in perfect harmony with universal energy, and I'm truly free when I accept my own divinity. When I accept my own divinity. Look at me closely. Tell me exactly what you see. If you are paying attention, you will now begin ascension of the mind. Why? Well, because if you look at me just right, you see a kiss. It took a kiss to make this breath exist. The intersection of my mother's and father's lips to touch. Twist, perfect what came next to produce me. Yes, look at me and you will see the breeze. The breeze it took to shake the leaves to make my mother's hair move. My father dare touch it and say, please, may I have a kiss? Yes, the breeze made me exist. And if you want to get even deeper into this right now, when you look at me, you will see a big old cloud. That's right, the cloud it took to form the storm, to make the breeze, to shake the leaves, to inspire the lip lock. Yes, a raindrop will pop up out of these words. You heard me right. Look at me close enough, you see a dark, stormy night. And what is night? Well, night ain't night without its polar opposite of sunlight. So if you watch the way my hands sway, you see the light of day. And every day is a testament to the sediment of the earth's core, its ever-spinning enormous force. So when you look at me just right, you see a spark of the source. But the most fascinating thing about this, and it's true, is you look at me just right, you see you. It's only what you perceive, how you believe, the space between you and me that creates reality. So when I sing, you can feel it. When I cry, you can heal it. When I speak words, you can be the words I speak by singing them with me. Peace, love, free. Peace, love, free. Peace, love, free. Peace, sing it with me. Peace, love, free. Peace, love, free. And when I am all alone and full of fear, I just remember the rising sun always appears. And every day miracles that I see. Well, you take me back. Yes, you take me back. You take me back to exactly where I need to be. Right here, right now, I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am. I am a blessing manifest.
Good morning, and thank you, Amy, for that very moving song. It put a lot of thoughts in my head, and I was gonna, I was sitting there listening to Alice's reading, and I was about to just say, well, look, sermon's already done. Let's just have some coffee and cake and tea and whatever, and call it good. But I tell you, it is amazing how spirit moves in our lives, and how things unfold unbeknownst to ourselves, right? Because I never ask what the reading is going to be. I never listen to the music beforehand. But every time God lines it up so that it's just perfect. It's just perfect. And so with that, I want to say good morning and welcome to CSL Denver, a place, a space, and a face of love, a spiritual community teaching ancient wisdom and applying universal principles to empower our lives and the lives of others. And what a concept. What a concept of empowering our lives and the lives of others, because we live in a place where we do not live alone. Even if you think you are alone, we don't. And so when we look at the continuing theme for this month of divine grace, and then today we want to drill down on this idea of everyday grace. Now, if you look, I got a pencil in my hand here, and I reminded myself, or I was reminded by something that my father told me many years ago. He says, never think without a pencil in your hands. Never think without a pencil in your hand, because that's a grace of God to have that thought come through, and you don't want to miss it. So have that pencil ready so that you can catch the grace as it falls. Because you see, grace is the depths of who we are. When I listened to that song that Amy was singing about the breeze and the kiss, and I'm thinking, what grace took place for all of us to be here, for two people to meet under whatever circumstances they found themselves, for you to survive the journey of birth and childhood and teenager and adulthood and end up in this point right now. There were a bunch of everydays in there, I believe. So every day was a day of grace. Every day was a day of grace. And this spiritual tradition of grace is deeply rooted I would say in all spiritual traditions. It is the essence of being human. The essence of being human. Because every time we see something that moves us, that allows the emotions, the spirit within us to well up, right behind it, there's a tinge of grace. Whether it's a thing we like or a thing we don't like. Whether it's something we asked for or something that came out of the blue. It's all grace. Because see, grace is this transcendent energy. It's this all-pervasive awareness that's ever present. Now, last week we talked about grace and kind of gave grace as this definition of something that happens unbeknownst to you or unbeknownst to yourself. Now, how many people can actually sit and say, oh yeah, that was the moment that grace came in right there. I saw it. That was the moment right here. Here it comes again. You recognize grace after it's happened in most cases. Now, in some cases, you know, if you're in the middle of the ocean and you know, sharks are swarming and you're trying to get out, yeah, okay, you might recognize grace in those types of moments. But normally, grace is a rearview mirror experience. Something that we awaken to, something that, like a fish in water, is always around it, but we get so caught up in the everyday that we don't realize that we're swimming in grace every day. We're swimming in grace every day. And when we treat ourselves with respect, big word there, treat ourselves with respect, we allow ourselves to be aware of the water of grace. Now, what does that mean, to treat myself with respect? Well, that means understanding that at any given moment in time, I could slip, fall, stumble, curse, slap. There's a whole lot of stuff that I can do that I need to remember so that I respect myself and say, as the reading that Alice did says, they got all kinds of things going on. Look at Einstein. Einstein has created a formula along with God knows what else that allows us to think about the longevity, the eternality of God itself. And when asked, does he believe in God? He says, I believe what Spinoza believes, that life is full, that life is up, life is down. And God has given us the power, the presence, and the awareness to work through it all with joy. With joy. And so I urge us to really think about what it means to have everyday grace. Now, when we look at this first slide by Henri Nouwen, he says this: what makes us human is not our mind, but our heart. Not our ability to think, but our ability to love. Our ability to love. Because that's what grace is. It's that unseen helping hand given in love. It's not something I have to think about. It's not something I have to boast about. It's something I have to open up and be ready to receive or be ready to acknowledge its awareness. That's grace. That's everyday grace. And we get it every day. We got it this morning when we stopped at the stop sign and the person behind us didn't drive too fast and hit us in the rear view. That was grace. Now, people may have a lot of different names for it, but I'm saying it was grace. And so when we are able to embrace life in that manner, not diminishing your part in living, not being lazy and not doing anything and saying, oh, well, the grace of God's going to take care of me. This is a relationship. We live in a relational universe, right? Without up, Down has absolutely no meaning, none whatsoever. So we live in this life of contrast, if you will, this life of so-called opposites that are really one thing, but by looking at them in an opposite place, it gives us the chance to see the breadth of it and the depth of it. And when we can live life in everyday grace, then we let go of those judgmental things, right? We begin to look at life and we choose love over judgment, forgiveness over resentment, and gratitude over entitlement. Because we now are in a place that all those opposite sides that we just spoke about, the judgment and the entitlement and all of those things are bombarding us every day in one way or another. You can't turn on the TV, the radio, pick up your phone, look at the internet, overhear somebody's conversation in the Starbucks line where these points are not being not only stated, but accentuated. And I know for me, when I'm in that presence, I leave a little bit depleted. Because now they done set my mind off on, oh God, what if they're right? What happens if we get 10 inches of snow tomorrow and I'm not prepared? That's grace that allows us to be aware of these things, not to get trapped by them, to be aware of them and live our lives every day. Live our lives every day. Because we're in the midst of a storm of life, but there's a lifeline of grace that's always available. When we look at this next slide by Sarah Van Berthnot, she says this: grace is available for each of us every day, our spiritual daily bread. But we got to remember to ask for it with a grateful heart and not worry about whether there will be enough for tomorrow. We say God is an eternal God, an infinite God. So I want all the grace I can get right now. I am not worried about tomorrow because I know it's infinite. So I'm not going to be talking about, oh, well, Lord done gave me too much grace. Please, Lord, take some back. You don't have enough to go around. Nobody's saying that. At least nobody in their right mind and really understand the power of the presence of God is saying that. They're saying, God, I want grace on top of grace. And if it gets to be too much, I'm going to extend it to somebody else. But I sure ain't going to turn it away. That's everyday grace. Because there's every moment of the day that we need grace as a guiding luminary light for everything we do. Even when I'm fussing with my wife, I need grace. Probably the first piece of grace is that she don't knock me upside the head, but I'll take it. I'll take it. That's grace. And so often we need to be reminded of what grace is. And I would submit, grace looks like a beautiful sunset. Grace sounds like the birds chirping in the trees. Grace tastes like a good cup of coffee. And grace feels like joy and excitement when you're going to the amusement park. That's what grace is every day. And when we can step into that, when we can abide by that, and we can allow ourselves to really begin to look at life as an ever-flowing blessing, we're able to overcome anything. Matter of fact, we're able to overcome everything because God is always present. Grace is always present. And so when we look at how do we activate grace, and activate ain't the right word. when we look at how grace is ever present in our lives, I want to give us 3 things to think about and to begin to do. We become aware of it every day. The first thing is we have to learn to be servants. Be in service, not a servant as somebody who's going to, just kowtow to somebody, but be in service, to give, to open up, to share. To provide sometimes just a smile is service. This next slide by Dr. King says this. Every day can be great. I mean, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. So there's no reason for any of us to say we can't serve. Because, if I split some verbs and with my Southern background, I'm liable to do that at any moment. No matter how much education I got. See, I did it just then. I got. But when we think about this, we really begin to see everyday grace. And when I serve, I see it more. Because as the famous saying goes, there but the grace of God go I. How many times have you been in a situation where you only needed a smile to snap you out of it, but you never got it for whatever reason? So that's when we have to sometimes just hold a mirror up and smile to myself, right? And serve. The next thing that we have to do to begin to activate and actualize and realize grace in every day is, this is a tough one. Embrace what is. Now we have the local colloquial saying, when I guess it's global now, it's all good. Well, okay, if that's what you're saying, and I get it, right? I get it. It's a perspective of how we look at things, but we still have to embrace it. It does no good for me to tell someone that's sick that it's all good, you okay. We have to begin to embrace it all. Because remember, we talked about this, up without down has no meaning. So if we're saying theoretically down is bad and up is good, well then if we get rid of the down, where are you? Where are we? Are we just some ethereal thing floating around in the ethers, or are we actual human beings made in the image and likeness of the divine, so that we can serve one another, so that we can uplift one another, so that we can be the helping hand, the guiding voice that we are looking for? Doesn't take a lot. How much? Well, they say it takes more muscles to frown than smile, but it do take a few muscles to smile. But just think of it as your daily workout. It's part of your daily routine to smile, to laugh, and to embrace it all. Sometimes you have to laugh even when the situation seems dire. We have to recognize that we are a work in progress. We're forever transforming and transmutating and all the trances, right? We're moving into different everythings every moment. And when we can realize that, we can step into this next slide by unknown. This one was so powerful, we couldn't even give a name to it. Everyday grace is about finding joy in the ordinary and beauty in the mundane. Embrace it all. Don't let any of it slip away. Don't say this is too boring, I can't pay attention. Oh, I can only look at that thing because it's pretty. Grace is everywhere. And the more we can absorb that, the more we can allow ourselves to participate in this song and dance of life, we realize grace is the ground that we walk on. It is the spark that wakes us up in the morning. And so I brace it all. Even if I wake up and I slept on the wrong side and my arm is asleep. You know, you ever done that? You wake up and, oh, can't even move my arm. There's a grace there. You got to get you another way of sleeping, buddy, because your arm is going to be that way. But that's what we have to do. We have to take it with a grain of salt. We have to laugh at it. We have to embrace it and know that there's grace and guidance to get us to the end. Along with embracing what is, the third thing, after we've learned to serve, we've learned to embrace what is. Right behind that is another embrace, like a great big old hug. We have to embrace life fully. We have to embrace life. How much gas do you have in the tank that you ain't using? Because you're afraid that you might make a mistake, or you might offend somebody, or I didn't practice enough. Everybody can practice more. Remember, we're always in this transformational state. If I do it today and it ain't that pleasing to me, then I'll practice and do it again tomorrow. But we have to begin to embrace life fully, because all moments are special. There's no moment any special than any other moment if we look at it from the eyes of grace. If we look at it from the eyes of grace, it's all a blessing. It's all a guidance. It's all a light that shines to help us move on this joyous, exciting, adventurous journey called life. It's like, here in Colorado, and as everywhere, but I know it's definitely here in Colorado, we are probably one of the best states in the union with going outdoors, camping and hiking and water rafting and snowshoeing. And I mean, I could just go on and on. And the one thing you begin to really understand when you go out and embrace life in that manner, there's immense joy and there's immense danger, all at the same time. But I guarantee you, there are very few of us who are deciding not to go rafting or mountain climbing or mountain biking because we are afraid of that other side of the coin. That's embracing life fully. I'm going out here, I'm going to ride, I'm going to see the birds, I'm going to see the little chipmunks, I'm going to, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm going to see it, I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to know that there's a possibility, but I'm going to understand at the same time that I'm standing on a firm ground of grace. So if I don't fall, I'm good. If I fall, I'm good. That's grace in everyday living. And when we look at this statement by Dennis Waitley, he says this: happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, or worn. It is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. Every moment. You can't buy it. You can't earn it. You can't, trade it with your friend. It's there, always. Partake of it, grab it, give it. Because when we do, we allow ourselves to be better than we ever thought we could be. We allow ourselves that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful idea of forgiving ourselves, which allows us to forgive others. Because we know, I'll say we know, but some of us won't acknowledge we're all rascals at heart. We're all rascals at heart. Now you may have a refined rascal, and mine may not be as refined, But I guarantee you there's a rascal in there somewhere. So let us just get past that. You know, I ain't special because I got a rascal and you don't, or you ain't special. But what makes us special is to extend that grace, to extend that love, to allow us to be a rascal and learn from that. Because as we strive to live with grace, let us reflect on the profound gift that it offers. An energy that permeates our life, a presence that offers us a path of healing, reconciliation, and support. It is the antidote to judgment, the balm for a wounded heart, and the catalyst for divine transformation. So let us walk in grace, talk in grace, eat in grace, and live in grace, knowing that there's a power or presence in the universe that is on our side, that is guiding us and supporting us in all that we do. Let us pray. So as we take this moment to honor the fullness of life, that presence of the Mother, Father, God, that divine energy that creates worlds, that presence that has allowed the flowers to bloom, that has allowed the sick to be healed, that allows us to live in joy even through the pain. We know that the power, the presence, the intelligence that is God is ever available to us, constantly flowing through our mind, our thoughts, our body, our affairs, allowing us to recognize and partake in the grace of all things. And I know that each and every one of us here today, and whether you're online or whether you may listen to this later, are primed now, just like we primed the pump to overflow grace in our lives. We've heard something today. We've contemplated something today that will allow us to look at life differently, to be able to let the small stuff go by, because we understand the flow of grace in our life. And so right here, right now, I declare for each and every one of us that we are opening up to a new way of life, that we are allowing the magnificence that we are, the magnificence that God is, to be the presence that is there every day, to allow us to awaken to a new way of living and a new way of serving, and to embrace grace in all we do. And so it is in that idea, it is in that understanding, and it is in that moment of awakening that I give thanks. Give thanks for these opportunities. I give thanks for everyone that's here and everyone that's reminded me as I look at the mirror of myself in each and every one of you, that we are the ones we have been waiting for. So let us rise, let us stand tall, and let us bring forth the grace of God. And with that, I release, I let go, and I know that this prayer is absolutely so and already activated in our lives. And so it is. Amen. And so, as always, we got an affirmation that we want to share to anchor this idea, this concept in our heart. Well, we'll start with the call to action. Call to action is this. For this week, make a gratitude list and reflect on the moments when the divine was the compass of your affairs. And the second thing is, and I want to read it here because I thought it was so great. There's a poem called "Many Times Today I Will Cross Over a Threshold." Go on the internet and get that. And I want to read it real quick. It says, "Many times today I will cross over a threshold. I hope I will catch a few of those times. I need to remember that my life is, in fact, a continuous series of thresholds. From one moment to the next, from one thought to the next, from one action to the next. Help me appreciate how awesome this is. How many are the challenges to be how many are the chances to be really alive? Help me cross into the present moment, into wonder, into your grace, the now place where we all are unfolding moment by moment. Find that poem and just read it, short poem, read it every morning before you get out of bed, or right after you get out of bed with your coffee. Because when you can look at this and then let this affirmation anchor this idea of grace in your heart, I am surrounded by grace and I embrace its gentle guidance. That's what this will become for you. As we go through moment by moment, threshold by threshold, we begin to realize and recognize the grace that is always present. And so, as always, it's now that time of sacred giving. And so we want to thank everyone for here and everyone that supports CSL Denver, whether it's with your time, treasure, or talents, we are grateful. And so if you watch across the bottom of the screen, you'll see the many different ways you can give. You can go to our website, www.csldenver.org, and you can push the donate button. You can text to give, or you can send the old-fashioned check or money order to the P.O. box. But however you do, we appreciate it. And so as we anchor this idea of giving and service, if it feels comfortable, place your hand over your heart and repeat our affirmation. This perfect gift is spirit informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive, and so it is. Amen. So it is. Amen. Now Alice will come and give us a few announcements. Thank you.
So today, right after service, we will have our divine dialogue. So we'll have some coffee and goodies and circle up and have some discussion about Reverend Elzia's talk or anything else we want to talk about. And we've also got Cinema for the Soul coming up on Saturday, May 18th at 5:30 p.m. right here in this room. We're going to be showing the movie Hector and the Search for Happiness. Hector is a quirky psychiatrist who has become increasingly tired of his humdrum life. Talk about the grace. He tells his girlfriend Clara that he needs to go on a journey to research happiness, and the fun goes on from there. So after the movie, we'll have some discussion. I have some handouts on the table over here. If you want to take it home to remind yourself and put it on your refrigerator, you're welcome to do that. We have older Science Mind magazines over here. Those are free. We also have the most current Science Mind magazines, which are, let's see, January, February, March and April. And then the May, June will be coming out soon. And so those are $4. And so help yourself if you want to take one of those. And so if you would like to hear some good news of the world, to affirm the good in the world, we have a link on our Facebook page called And Now the Good News. This program is put together by New Thought Media Network and airs on Fridays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or you can watch these anytime during the week. Just go to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver Facebook page and click on any of the posts that say, And Now the Good News. And as we've said before, New Thought Media Network is just awesome. They have just wonderful programs. They've got over 40 programs. They've got daily prayer at 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Mountain Time. If you just need some time to just sit in some prayer. There's also meditation. I think Reverend Elzia did the class on Saturday morning. They do on the Science Mind textbook. So we're just so truly blessed by New Thought Media Network, and they are who produce our Sunday services as well. So, and we are truly blessed by everyone who has chosen to support CSL Denver, whether in time, treasure, or talent. We want to thank you so very, very much for being here, for showing up on Sunday mornings, and thank goodness it snowed yesterday and not today. So let's close out with Karen Drucker singing I'm So Grateful, and please join us for fellowship and divine dialogue after. Thank you.
Hey, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. grateful for all that I have. Hey, oh yeah, grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day I say